Hey, I want to show you how you can look at song structures from other people's songs and then maybe use those as inspiration for how to structure your song. Today's example song is one that I've been working on for a while. It's not going to get released in the form that it's in, so don't get too attached to it. Okay, so assuming that you've dragged in the song that you want to analyze, let's skip to the first major beat and work out what the tempo of it is. Okay, so that's where the bar starts. So we'll split the clip there, and then down in the clip editor, we'll just make sure that we're right on the kick. Okay, so we can neaten that up a bit. Okay, so now we've got this clip. Okay, so now that our clip starts on a downbeat, we'll turn on warp, and we'll watch it again in the clip editor, and see if we can find the next major beat. Okay, so it's this right here. So that seems to be the end of 4 bars. So we can see that the BPM over here is saying 172. So let's get closer in our actual track tempo. Okay, I would say that this is actually in 86, so we'll drag it all the way back. So it's a bit faster. We'll set our track tempo down. You don't have to do it like this. I mean, if you leave a track at double tempo, it doesn't matter. So that should be good enough for us to start slicing this up and working out what the sections are. So I'm going to play the song, and I'll just start cropping clips as we work out what the sections are. I probably won't play the whole song though. You can see that I'm editing before it even gets to the next section. You can see in the waveforms on this one what's going on. I'm just running ahead of the playhead and cutting the clip before it even starts, and then naming it once I work out what it is. Okay, so we've had a look at the structure of this one, and it's got an intro, the drums come in, it's got what I call a false drop. So the drums come in, it's probably just for mixing for DJs, but yeah, the drums actually kind of happen. Then we go into a breakdown and a build. We do drop 1, which ends with a riser. It goes into drop 1B, which has a melodic thing added to it. It goes into drop 1C, which has a beepy thing added to it. Then there's a bit of a breakdown and a build up. They're a fair bit shorter than the drops. And then we go into drop 2, which has a pluck bass and a cowbell. Then there's a metal melody that comes in for drop 2B. Then there's a drop outro. So there's nothing really dominant in here. It's really just a beat section. And then there's an outro at the end. Once we've got that structure worked out, what I like to do sometimes is create a MIDI track which has these same sections replicated into it. So we've got intro, false drop, build. There's a faster way to do that. Drop 1, drop 1B, drop 1C, breakdown / build, drop 2, drop 2B. Now this drop outro, I'm actually going to call it drop 1 return, because it sounds pretty much the same thing as drop 1, and it rehomes the listener on their way out of the track, because the listener's kind of used to that. Coming back to it sounds like you're going back home before the song ends. And then there's an outro. The usefulness of having the MIDI clips is that you can then delete the original. Then you've just got an outline of the structure of the song that used to be there. Then when you're trying to structure your next song, you've got an idea to reference back to. And it's not an idea that's too well formed and is going to really influence you and you're going to accidentally copy it. It's an idea that's very vague, but it's open-ended, and it lets you fill in the blanks with your new elements. Something I do with these MIDI tracks after I've analyzed a song is that I save it in a structures folder. So we'll jump into my structures. Okay, so we've got that one saved, so if I ever want to refer back to it, I can. But I'll just load up a structures file so you can see what I get up to. Okay, so here you can see that I've gone through and I've done that same thing with a bunch of drum and bass songs, and I've decided that they have an intro of various lengths, and then they move into a build, and then they go into a drop. They might move into drop 1.2. They might then progress into a third variation on that drop, or they might have a breakdown, and then they'll build again and then do a similar sequence on the way out. But analyzing multiple different songs gives you an idea of what your options can be. I mean, there's no rules to structuring songs, but there are things that work pretty reliably. If you go through songs that you like in the genres that you're trying to work in and just see what the common patterns are, you do get a feel for how people are going to expect your song to be structured and what the likely signposts are on the way to laying out your song. There's no rules that say you have to copy an existing song directly. Having these components in your mind, if not laid out like this, lets you mock out the stages that your song's going to go through and the ebbs and flow of the energy levels over time. So I hope that helps you analyze an existing song to work out what the sections of the song are, and to then create some building blocks so that you can arrange your own songs in sensible ways that tell a story from the intro through to a build, through to a drop, and so on and so on.